We do know Maduro's former vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, is now acting president and the subject of demands from the White House. Let's talk now to Roberto Deniz, a longtime Venezuelan investigative journalist with the publication Armando.info. He has reported on the Maduro regime and its corruption. After facing threats and warrants, he left for exile in Bogota, Colombia. Roberto, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You know, it's so hard to reach people in Venezuela. My contacts there, they will not be quoted by name. Militias are reportedly detaining people and reporters and checking their phones based on who you talk to. What is the level of fear there?
Yes, there is a lot of fear right now in Venezuela. These images of the milicias, like we call them in Venezuela, colectivos, that are civilians with guns that are under the orders of people of the Venezuelan revolution. And that was a clear message from some internal forces that, they were trying to send a message that, well, don't go out to protest, don't go out to celebrate. If you want to celebrate that Maduro was captured, it was a powerful message to intimidate, and that is the reason, because there are a lot of fear and afraid right now in Venezuela.
Yeah, so you have reported for a long time on Maduro and his inner circle, including Delcy Rodriguez, right? She was the vice president. Immediately after Maduro was taken, she became the interim president. Why do you think she is now at the top?
Yes, Delcy not only was the vice president of Nicolás Maduro, she also was the oil minister in Venezuela. That is a key role in Venezuela as an oil producer country. I think that maybe at this moment, this is an unfolding story. We don't have all the elements, but for me, it's clear that Delcy Rodriguez was trying to make a deal with United States even before the capture of Nicolás Maduro, to send a message to United States, well, how we can solve this. Now Donald Trump saying that, well, Delcy is in charge and Delcy has to follow our instructions because now we are in charge in the country. I think that Delcy Rodriguez is facing right now this pressure, the external pressure of Donald Trump administration, and also the internal pressures, the other force in the revolution that started to see her like, a kind of traitor, a person that maybe made a deal with the United States, a secret deal that nobody knew until all of this started to happen.
Wow. So I want to make sure I understand. Because after Maduro was taken, right, it was reported that the U.S. military intelligence, they had somebody on the inside. They had a mole, an informant who was telling the U.S. exactly where Maduro was, where he was moving, how to find him. Are you suggesting there's an assumption that it could have been Delcy Rodriguez?
For me, it is very clear that Delcy Rodriguez was negotiating with Donald Trump administration before all of this happened. I am not totally sure that maybe she was the one that said, well, this is all of the info that Nicolás Maduro that you need to capture him. Probably we also can suspect about some military forces or some even inner circle of Nicolás Maduro war. For me, it is clear that there were a lot of people, that maybe was giving information to the United States, and probably one of them is Delcy Rodriguez.
Probably one of them. Okay, understand. Now, Delcy Rodriguez is reportedly very wealthy, as are others who are still in the inner circle, right? The Interior Minister, Diosdado Cabello, the Defense Minister, General Padrino. Why are they so wealthy?
Yes, you have to think the Venezuelan regime, not only an authoritarian regime, but you have to think Venezuela right now also as a kleptocratic government. All of them manage millions and millions of the Venezuelan public funds in contracts with the state, and that is the reason they are so wealthy. And
You're talking about they're at the center of the corruption in the system. Is that what you mean?
Yes, totally. Yes. And as a journalist, of course, I would like to be right now in Caracas, in Venezuela, reporting, but it's so risky and it's so difficult to think in that possibility right now.